Hi there guys, it's Kevin from Figaro Owners Club. It's great to be with you. I wanted to do a short video about the locks on the Figaro, and I'm going to take you through several bits of the locking mechanism. The first thing to explain is the fact that the locks on the car are identical on both doors. Okay, so that's the first thing to remember. These handles and the locking mechanism and this lock here, which obviously takes your Figaro key, this key, okay, should work on both of your doors. Okay, absolutely no difference. If I go right side of the car and I go to the left side of the car, all this is absolutely identical. Okay, so what's going on when people get locked out of their Figaro? Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit about why that happens, and the first thing to explain is really how the mechanism works, and then I think you'll get a greater understanding of what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the door up, and you can see by opening the door up, as we're all familiar with this, we squeeze this little lever in and something magically happens, the door opens. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is what is happening. Okay, so if we go down here, basically what's happening as I do that, there's a mechanism inside the car which and I've got a lock here. This is one I had earlier, if you like, Blue Peter fashion. What is happening here is as I push this lever in, you can see this mechanism. It's very clever. It's got a spring on it, okay, and as we push it, the spring returns it. Okay, so you can see that moving. Go from the side, see, like that. Okay, so the reason I'm showing you that is because what's happening as I do this, there's a rod that connects to that inside here, runs down here, and it connects to the locking mechanism. Okay, so this connects to this area of the car. Okay, so as I push it up, okay, that locks, and then as I do that, that unlocks. So to simulate that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make out that my little screwdriver is this locking mechanism here. So you imagine me locking it. I'm pushing the door up now. There we go, I've locked it now. Okay, so I can't get out, and if I go to the lever now and give it a press, there we go, it pushes that out. And what that's doing is, as I do that, that's pushing a rod all the way down here, and it's pushing this mechanism inside the car to allow it to spring back. And now you can obviously open the car up. So what happens when people get locked out of their car or they can't get in their car, and it's a really strange, quite a freaky thing that happens really, and it's quite unusual. This lever can get bound up. Basically it can end up getting stuck, and the reason it gets stuck, you can see it's moving really well. The reason it gets stuck is because this spring mechanism here becomes all gunged up with dirt and muck, because you've got to remember these cars are like really old. So as I'm doing this, what's happening is the spring's just not got, it's just too dirty to be able to return it, and it's all just not working correctly. This has to pull back. So what can happen is this can end up getting stuck. So basically no matter what I do, it's not pulling back. So you'll find that the issue is the fact that if you come round to your lever and have a look at it, you'll find that the reason you can't get into the car is because you're pushing that and it's actually not doing anything. But if you let go of it, chances are it's staying where it is, whereas it should be there. Okay, it should be right out here, and the reason you can't get in the car is because it's stuck here. And I'm going to try and simulate, if I can, what's going on, because it's a really odd situation. It's if I push that down like that, okay, here we go, so that unlocks it, okay, as we've just seen a minute ago. But I'm going to leave my finger in there now, and I'm going to try and video this difficultly. Right, so I've got my finger on the lever as if it's not working at all now, so that's gone in, and now that's stuck now. So I can't, that's not opening. What's happening, if I go up here, you can see where my finger is, and you can see where that lever is, and it's kind of like 1/4 of an inch out. It's not right in, but it's not right out. It's kind of like stuck, and no amount of fiddling with that is going to open that up. Now it's not springing back. So if I let go of it now, there we go, see? So it has to spring back. It's got to spring back. This lever has to come back in order to open it. Now what can happen is, as I've said, if we shut the car up, and if I lock the car, push that down, if that is locked like that, no amount of fiddling around with that will get it undone. And I mean, the only option you've got is, even if you use the key, you think, well, that's all right, I can open it with a key, but you can't, because it's in that lock position. So even the key, no matter fiddling with the key, will open it. No matter what you do, it won't open. Now the only way around that is to give it a knock here. You can sometimes knock it and it will pop out, but obviously we don't, not really telling you to do that on your door. It's not really a good idea. So another little solution, if you like, is to get a bit of WD-40 with a nice long nozzle on it, and stick the nozzle in there and just try and get that down the side. What you're trying to do really is you're trying to reach down here, and you're trying to get this, you're trying to reach this bit of spring here. Okay, so that's the way to do it. Obviously if you can get into the car from the other side of the car, that's what you want to do, because you've got the key, you've got the lock, so you should be able to unlock it from the other side, come in and obviously undo that, and that, chances are, that should actually open it if you use this. But that doesn't always work either, because all that's doing is that's doing the same as that. So you could have a situation where the only way around it, really, worst case scenario, is to just keep knocking this and hopefully trying to pop this out, and just keep this spraying in there, and eventually it will pop out, and then you'll find that you'll do that and you can open the door. Now what I would suggest you do as a matter of maintenance is, good old Nissan, when they designed the door, they thought, well, you can probably want to maintain parts of the car and keep it lubricated. What you can do, there's a little bung here, you take it out, and if you put a torch in there, you can see inside here, you can actually see the mechanism from the inside, and you get your old squirter, push it in there, and then you can try and get, what you're trying to do is aim for that spring. You can imagine that's what you're going to be looking at, so you're trying to aim for the spring and get the spring lubricated. Whilst you're doing that, give it a good old wiggle with your finger, but that's what you're looking for. Nice bit of transit movement there, and providing your car's doing that, absolutely fine. So go and check your cars, make sure that this is moving really well. If it's not, open this up, this little grommet here, and squirt some WD-40 onto the spring, and you should be good to go. So there we go. I hope it's helped. Some of the people that have come through, some of the members have come through and asked for this particular video quite a few times now. It's quite hard to explain it with pictures, so hopefully people have understood what's going on, and it's been helpful to everyone. So anyway, that's all from Kevin, and we'll see you soon on the next one. Cheers, bye, hey, bye.